All right, team. Welcome to the Arsenal of Observation, which of course you know is your sketchbook. So I just wanted to run over the requirements of the class to make sure you can have all of them before class starts in January. You obviously need a sketchbook. We're going to stick with A5 just to allow consistency among the class for review and grading purposes. A5 is what we're going to stick to, which is like 5.5-ish by 8-ish. It needs to be sewn bound and not wire bound because we'll probably be doing compositions, not probably, we will be doing compositions across the page. So that can't be spiral, it needs to be wire bound. It needs to be 100-pound or greater paper because 100-pound allows, where's that other one? That 100-pound allows for a wash. Like you can see, there's not, the paper didn't buckle. So fun fact, pound for paper is how much a ream of that paper weighs. So a ream of this paper weighs 100 pounds, and a ream is 500 sheets. Now you know. So hardbound protects paper, but not necessarily mandatory. It protects the pages a little better. And then a strap and a pocket are nice, but none of that is mandatory as much as the binding and the weight of the paper. We will need graphite pencils. I love these Blackwings. This is a Blackwing Pearl. They really drop some graphite. Right now, I want you to have both. Like the great thing about these, about a graphite pencil, is you get that variety of line weight that we've talked about, right? You can do thin lines, you can do thick lines, you can do medium lines. So we're gonna do both, right? I'll definitely allow a mechanical pencil as well, and I use them, but you're pretty limited in your line weight. You can get sort of lighter and darker, but they're all gonna stay the same width. So a combination of the two is what's gonna help. So you need a graphite pencil, and if you're comfortable with it, a mechanical. You'll need at least one colored pencil, because as we get started, we're going to go ahead and draw our vanishing points and our perspective lines just to remember where it is, that scaffolding, and it makes for a beautiful drawing, as we've talked about before, right? So that's sort of that perspective point and your regulating lines and your proportioning systems, right? All those things are nice, a bit of scaffolding on your drawings. So you need those. Of course, with all those pencils, you need a pencil sharpener. This is just a nice metal one. I know some drawing professors don't allow erasers. Whatever makes you comfortable in the sketchbook. I do not mind if you bring an eraser along. I know some don't force or encourage you to work with your mistakes, but I'm okay with an eraser if it keeps you comfortable in drawing in your sketchbook. We'll also, almost kind of a user preference, we'll dabble in pen as well. If you are going to draw in pen, I prefer, and we will for some assignments, I prefer these archival, an archival ink pen, so we can wash over it and it doesn't bleed or run. That's often a beautiful effect, but I want you also to be able to maintain your lines when you wash over those lines. I keep mine pretty small, I think a .003. These are all .05, but try and get a variety of nibs somewhere from .03 to .05 or something like that. Like I mentioned, we'll be doing some washes, so you need a standard travel watercolor kit. This is a standard travel watercolor kit. It comes with 12 colors, which I think actually is too many, because we want to practice mixing in our trays and mixing on the page and mixing on site. So, but this is a standard one, as you can tell, or maybe you can't. These came with the kit. So you cannot pick your own colors in this kit, and they're usually less expensive that way. If you go with a kit where you cannot pick your own colors, just make sure it's an earth tone set. Don't get pastels or vibrant or whatever those other systems are called. For a brush, if you're just beginning and you're, if you want, a water brush is a great travel brush. A water brush, as you would expect, is simply a brush where the water is in the brush. And so this is a water brush. They usually just come in a one-size nib, which sometimes can be a little limiting, but you simply just squeeze and start to, and the water comes out and you can start mixing on site. That gets a little trickier, you know, or what we'll discuss is the two main ways to apply watercolor are water first and then simultaneously with pigment and water on the brush. And so sometimes you have to just apply water first and then clean the nib, but we'll cover all that in class. So that is a water brush, and that's a travel kit. Just for funsies, I want to show you the kit I'm using right now because it's my favoriteest. This is not a requirement because it perhaps wasn't the cheapest. I'm just showing you the one I use. It's metal, so it's durable. It's got a thumb strap, so if you're holding it while you're watercoloring, it can stay on. The top doubles as your water pan, and I don't know if you can see in here, but the left side is an actual flask for water. I think this kit's actually called a flask. So that's for your water on site. And then inside, it's 8 colors, which I think is perfect. And then you can actually pick these. These are called half pans. So you can take that piece out, and you can buy these as half pans at most larger art supply stores. You can get them empty and apply ink from a tube, or you can buy half pans. These are all half pans that I bought. So these are then you can pick your own, but it's still an earth tone list, and I can give recommendations if need be about your colors. So these are my earth tone kits, and they usually come with a brush, and then you get 2 mixing trays. So that's my favorite one that I'm using at this moment. When you are washing, you also need something to dab on. Some people use a sponge. I just use this hanky. I don't care what you use, just make sure it's reusable. We don't need paper towels or anything like that. Just get something that has a longevity to it. Just to control our washes too, I want some painter's tape or artist tape, whatever you want to call it. That allows you to mark off our edge conditions, and that really helps the wash and really look less like an afterthought and more of a controlled piece of the composition. If you don't get a kit with a flask like this one, you need to bring water on site and something. You can use your classic flask. This is the one we snuck into Disney World when we took the kids because they don't sell alcohol. Your classic flask, or I found these on Amazon. These are soy cups, soy sauce holders for your sushi lunch. It's a great way to carry the proper amount. The tricky part is then you have to dip your nib in there if you don't have a tray of some kind like that one to put them in. Let's see, I carry this regularly because I'm interested in more than one brush. You do not need this many brushes. I'm sort of dancing between the course requirements and what I use in case it was a question. This has a top that also deals as the pan. This is one of those cigar liquor store flasks, liquor flask. So it holds 2 cigars and some liquor, of course, but mine holds brushes, and then that's full of water, and then you can just pour it to the top. That just allows me to have my variety of brushes on site. I think the only thing I would add maybe is, and probably not, I'll just bring it up because I carry it. Sometimes I do time lapses of my drawing, and this is just a phone tripod and the little piece that goes on it to allow it. If you want to do time lapses where you're on site, that is certainly one you can carry. But these are largely the requirements of the class, and you will need a satchel of some kind to carry them all in. All right, email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you at the start of class.